Welcome to this session on supply chain management, where we'll explore the core ideas and practical tools behind getting products from suppliers to customers efficiently. Over the next slides, I'll guide you through strategy, sourcing, inventory, logistics, technology, risk and sustainability, offering clear explanations and real-world context to help you apply these concepts with confidence. This slide outlines the topics we'll cover, from foundational definitions to advanced topics like blockchain and sustainability. Think of it as a roadmap. We'll start with basics, move through sourcing and inventory, then tackle logistics, risk management, and emerging technologies, finishing with sustainable and socially responsible practices that shape modern supply chains. In this slide, we define supply chain management as the coordination of processes that move goods and information from suppliers to customers. Key components include procurement, production, distribution, and inventory control. And the slide also highlights the importance of integrating stakeholders, manufacturers, suppliers, distributors, and customers to create shared value and smooth operations. Here we focus on why supply chain management matters. It reduces costs by streamlining operations, creates competitive advantage through faster response to demand, and mitigates risks by improving adaptability to disruptions. In short, an effective supply chain supports customer satisfaction, market growth, and business continuity while protecting margins and operational resilience. This slide traces how supply chains have evolved, starting with a traditional focus on inventory and scheduling, expanding through globalization with cross-border coordination, and recently being transformed by technology. Advances like automation, AI, and blockchain have improved efficiency and transparency, shifting supply chains from simple logistics to strategic, technology-driven networks. When designing a supply chain network, the goal is to optimize for cost, lead time, and scalability. This slide covers locating warehouses and production facilities for market proximity, creating efficient transport routes, and building flexibility to handle growth or demand shifts, while strategically diversifying sites to reduce geopolitical, environmental, and operational risks. Demand forecasting and planning are about predicting future needs and aligning resources. The slide highlights improving predictive accuracy with historical data and analytics, recognizing seasonality to adjust inventory and labor, fostering cross-functional collaboration for better forecasts, and implementing real-time planning systems that adapt quickly to unexpected demand changes or disruptions. This slide introduces strategic sourcing as a way to manage cost, supplier, relationships, sustainability, and risk. Good sourcing balances price and quality, builds long-term partnerships for reliable delivery, prioritizes environmentally and socially responsible suppliers, and continuously assesses supplier reliability to avoid overdependence on single sources and protect supply continuity. When selecting suppliers, focus on clear evaluation criteria like cost efficiency, quality, and delivery performance. The slide also emphasizes assessing supplier risk, including financial and reputational factors, and favoring partners committed to ethical and environmental practices. Choosing suppliers this way supports resilience, long-term value, and alignment with corporate responsibility goals. Supplier relationship management is about building strong, collaborative partnerships that support consistent quality and innovation. This slide highlights the need for ongoing communication, regular performance monitoring using KPIs, and trust building through fair practices and transparency, all of which help suppliers meet expectations and contribute to shared operational success. Contract negotiation sets the rules for reliable supply and fair outcomes. This slide stresses defining clear terms for pricing, delivery schedules, and quality standards, pursuing win-win agreements that encourage long-term collaboration, and including contingency clauses for unexpected events, so both parties know how to act during shortages, delays, or other disruptions. Here we explain the main types of inventory companies manage. Raw materials, which keep production running. Work in progress, the partially completed items between stages, finished goods ready for sale, and mere supplies used to maintain operations. Understanding these categories helps prioritize handling, storage, and replenishment strategies to match production and customer needs. This slide covers common inventory control techniques that reduce costs and stock issues. It explains just-in-time ordering to lower holding costs, ABC analysis to prioritize high-value items, economic order quantity for optimal reorder sizes, and FIFO to prevent obsolescence, all aimed at balancing service levels with efficient inventory investment. Safety, stock, and reorder point management are critical for avoiding stockouts. This slide explains safety stock as a buffer against demand variability, describes how reorder points combine lead time and usage rate to trigger replenishment, and emphasizes that accurate lead time estimates and careful demand analysis are essential to maintain continuity without excessive overstocking. Now we shift into logistics and transportation management to explore how goods move efficiently. This section will examine transport modes, carrier relationships, warehousing, last-mile distribution, and the technology that ties these activities together to ensure timely, cost-effective delivery while minimizing environmental impact and handling complexities across routes and regions. This slide looks at transportation modes and carrier selection, noting that choices between air, sea, rail, or road depend on cost, speed, cargo type, and destination. It also highlights the value of strong carrier partnerships for reliability and damage reduction, and encourages evaluating environmental impact so decisions support sustainability goals as well as performance. In warehouse operations, the focus is on optimizing inventory, layout, and technology. This slide discusses regular stock assessments to avoid over- or understocking, efficient layout design to speed picking and packing, and integrating warehouse management systems to improve storage accuracy, streamline order fulfillment, and boost overall productivity in distribution centers. Distribution strategies determine how products reach customers most effectively. This slide covers selecting the right channels, whether direct-to-consumer or wholesale, using cost-efficient approaches like just-in-time delivery to reduce overhead, and leveraging demand forecasting to align production and distribution so inventory shortages or surpluses are minimized across the network. Information systems are the backbone of a responsive supply chain. By integrating data, improving decisions, and reducing errors. This slide explains how real-time data sharing connects supply chain elements, how analytics support forecasting and route optimization, and how automation in tracking and invoicing reduces manual mistakes to increase overall accuracy and speed. Emerging technologies like blockchain and IoT are changing the game by enhancing transparency and visibility. This slide explains blockchain's role in secure, tamper-proof records, IoT sensors for monitoring location and condition during transit, and how combining these technologies gives a unified, real-time view of the supply chain for faster, data-driven responses to disruptions. Automation and robotics improve speed, accuracy, and safety in warehouses and production. This slide highlights automated sorting and packaging to optimize processes, robotics that reduce dependency on manual labor and lower costs, and the safety benefits of having machines handle hazardous tasks, all contributing to consistent quality and higher throughput. Now we move to risk management in supply chains, focusing on how to identify, assess, and mitigate threats to operations. We'll cover types of risks, practical mitigation strategies, crisis response planning, and how continuous improvement builds resilience, so supply chains can withstand disruptions and recover more quickly. This slide outlines common supply chain risks, including demand volatility that can disrupt inventory, supply risks from unreliable suppliers or delayed materials, environmental events like natural disasters that halt transport, and regulatory risks from changing trade policies and tariffs. Recognizing these categories helps prioritize planning and response efforts across the network. To reduce risk, this slide recommends diversified sourcing to avoid single points of failure, maintaining calculated inventory buffers for continuity, integrating predictive analytics and supply chain software to spot disruptions early, and building strong, trust-based partnerships to improve coordination and adaptability during volatile periods. Crisis management prepares organizations to respond quickly and recover effectively. This slide covers developing response plans and scenario simulations, establishing clear communication channels to reduce misinformation, executing recovery strategies like alternate transport routes, and conducting post-crisis reviews to learn lessons and strengthen future resilience. Next, we move into sustainability in supply chain management, where environmental and social considerations shape long-term strategy. This section will explore green practices, circular economy concepts, and social responsibility, showing how sustainable choices reduce impact, support compliance, and create value for customers and communities. Green supply chain practices focus on eco-friendly sourcing, energy efficiency, waste reduction, and cleaner transportation. This slide explains prioritizing suppliers that use sustainable materials, adopting energy-saving technologies in logistics, implementing recycling and smart packaging to cut waste, and using fuel-efficient or alternative transport modes to lower emissions. Circular economy concepts emphasize keeping materials in use longer through resource recovery, product lifecycle extension, and closed-loop systems. This slide highlights designing products for repair and recyclability, partnering across industries to share resources and recycling infrastructure, and creating processes that return packaging or products for repurposing to reduce waste and raw material demand. Social responsibility in supply chains means ensuring ethical labor practices, engaging with communities, and keeping operations transparent. This slide covers enforcing fair employment standards across suppliers to avoid exploitation, encouraging supplier involvement in local social initiatives, and maintaining open communication about sourcing and sustainability efforts to build trust with stakeholders and consumers. Thanks for watching and engaging with this overview of supply chain management. I hope the practical explanations and strategic insights help you think differently about sourcing, inventory, logistics, risk, and sustainability, so you can apply these ideas to improve performance and resilience in your own supply chain operations.